So, welcome to vlog 2, and this is Rally Race, guys. So today I'm just in the paint shop. As you can see, we've got the bumper and the valance that I showed you last time, and I might do a bit of work on them today, but we're currently just tidying up. I showed a quick tidy of this. So today I think is just going to be sorting out and moving stuff around, just so it's more accessible for us. As you can see, there's Pat from last one. Go with the vice, but it didn't. Haven't got it working yet. Yeah, we've got this pile of metal, but there is a parts cleaner underneath it, which we will need when we do the engine. I need to move this EJ20 engine. Just to get it out of the way, and we've got some new mats just so we're not right on the concrete, and just because it's looking a bit messy at the moment. We've just sold, as I said, the harnesses. Yeah, we sold them, so they're being picked up today. Also, we're going to move the Jeep, which is currently on charge. It's been on charge for a long time now, but it's a fairly sizable battery, but only a 6-amp battery charger, because that's all I've got at the moment. And this will be going in this gap, long ways. It's not very wide on camera, but it is in real life. We're going to move these cabinets. There's some so we've got some wipes here. This is what we use to clean our hands. He's going to park his there, or we may park this at an angle, just so Ryan can have his own bay. We haven't worked out yet how we're going to do that. The lighting isn't very good down over here, but this 4.7 V8 drag car to be like a ute type thing. Yeah, might tidy some of these up. Definitely got to tidy the bench up, but currently we're trying to heat it because heat the unit. Because it's about 2.5 degrees, which isn't too good, and you can't get much productivity done. But yeah, I might have a go at these, but it shouldn't have a lot. But I'm just trying to warm the room at the moment, just to try and take that bitterness out of it. And as you can see, this is where we filled the bumper to get the body line back. Just because there was just a hole there, then there was a plate underneath it, which I can show you when we take it off, and then we filled on top of that and sanded like so. The valance, I haven't decided whether I'm painting yet. It's just looking a bit scruffy now, but it's not high on the to-do list. So I'll come back to you in a minute. So we've had a pretty successful day. It's only taken me an hour or so to do this. And the Jeep is nearly charged, and we might get onto something doing this. So see you in a minute. It's just after Christmas. It's actually the day after Boxing Day, and I've had a great time with the family, etc. But it's time to crack on with the car. I've got a couple of goodies for Christmas. She's got some tools. Got some draper Allen keys in size, because I kept on rounding stuff off when I was taking the cage out, which I'll tell you about in a minute. Also, hex sockets, and also a load of hex sockets as well, all from Ryan, for 3/8. I got a set of spanners, but they're back at home, so I've got my spare ones. And that's about it for Christmas. Yeah. So a quick update on the car. Last time you saw it, it did not look like this. So unfortunately, we didn't actually film this because I didn't have the camera on me. But we have stripped out the cage and stripped everything else out. So the cage is over here, ready for paint and prep. So we've decided to crack on with the inside first, as you can see, and get that all rust treated. We're going to try and stitch weld it a bit more, it already has done, and just weld up plates that we don't need. As you can see, we start the prep work pretty quickly. but we're going to reroute like the wiring loom that's here. We're going to run it all the way down here and up there, extend these wires like for the fuel tank sender and the handbrake. We've dropped the gear linkage, we've taken out the door cards, we've taken out all the rear windows, and not the front ones, but they're to come. We're going to in the next couple of weeks, or in the next week or so, to take the dashboard out. And we've started wire wheeling everything down, so it looks more presentable. And also, as you can see, I've been having a little bit of a go with the grinder, and wire wheeling everything off here. The reason it looks black, everything not wire wheeled, is because I painted it with some rust killer and rust treatment. But I need to go back over it with a wire wheel and do it again. I've still got some more to do, like underneath where these join, but I'm going to show you how I did that in a future episode, in this side, because I haven't touched that side purposely, just to show you how I've been doing it. And it's really cheap on how to rust treat your car if you've got a solid shell. I know we've got a bit of welding to do to like fill some holes in that we don't need, which is a cool trick for that, which we'll go through in a later date. But this is just a quick update for the car. So we've masked up both rear windows, but the next thing to do is chop the harness. I've already pre-labelled it. Each wire's got like P1, etc. But they're starting to fall off, which is rather annoying. So hopefully I might have to just just go over them with just a little bit of sellotape so they don't fall off, so they don't get confused. If we come to the rear, let me move my bag. I've marked out which holes that we're going to keep, which is the ones with the blue crosses. The rest else is going to be going to weld it up, so you won't be able to see these holes. I'm starting to bash down because it was previously a road rally car, like I mentioned previously. There is some a little bit of damage to the shell, but it's only cosmetic. So I'm just about to buy a panel beating hammer, just to knock all this was concaved in and stuff like that, so it looks all nice and pretty for when we're back out on it. It's a lot easier to sand, etc. The only downside is with this and 205s is rust, and the only part of rust which I found currently, touch wood, is this section here, rust. And that's a fairly easy fix. It's only like 30mm by 10mm, so I've got a plate of steel for that. And also we're going to drop the fuel tank, etc., and get all that stuff done. But yeah, we're well on our way to the prep, and well on our way to the 2018 season. I think I've decided that we're going to do one track rally, so it's still a stage rally, but it's on the track, maybe Donington or Rockingham, because I know Rockingham's later in the year. It was in December this year, so that's when I'm looking to do it. It's just so we don't have to rush it, and I've got a couple of co-driving spots throughout the year, so I won't be a sitting duck. I'll be getting on with this prep. Obviously I've got work, etc., and I've got the co-driving to do as well. But yeah, we're just deciding what we need to do with this. I believe most people drill the spot rivets out and take that out completely, but I want to keep it in because try and keep it in because it's a good strengthener for the body, and the more strength the better. But if I want to take it out, or if I take it out in the end, I'll just cut it out, or I'll get a spot rivet drill bit and take it out. I don't want to, because I want to try and keep it as simple as possible and keep the cost down. But nobody has actually said that you can keep it, but nobody said you can't keep it. So I'm I would try and see if I can push the budget and just go with one bar, so you have one bar there and one bar there, and then you should be all good. But we will see. It's quite cold in here today. It's literally just snowed last night. So unfortunately Rob was meant to be with us, but he can't get out of the village. And yeah, we've got a couple of bits primered. We are so today we're going to I'm going to be sorting this lot out, setting all the putting all the new toolbox in, and also we've had a couple of things shot blasted, or a single thing shot blasted. So this is the actual main support for the rear bumper, which I've shot blasted at work, and I've just primed it for now, just because I was away for so long. The rear bumper has actually had some work done to it as well. It's probably going to have to have one more coat of filler, which is over there, and we'll show you that in more detail, and how to get a really nice finish on that bumper, and then we will paint that. But that's it for now. I'll come back when we're all tidied, etc. And I've got a little project on today, which I've got my old granddad's toolbox, which I'm going to transport some tools to work. But I shot blasted at work while we had a little in my break, and I got a bit of rust here, which I'm just going to cut out and weld a plate into, and it'll give me a good welding practice as well. And before I tackle this and get all the settings right, because I believe the metal on this body shell is the same thickness on here, so I should be able to get the welder set up. And at my attempt to fill one of the holes, but we will see, and I'll come back to you later. So I've done a bit of welding on the bottom of that toolbox, and I put a plate in, which I'll show you in a second, and I'm halfway through painting it. And now I think I'm going to do something in the car. So I've tidied back up all the areas. So this is where I was welding. So I cleaned it up so I could actually, so there was no dirt or grease or anything like that on it. So all this is tidy now. So if you come in here, so in here we have got the toolbox, which you can see my welding there. I welded from the other side, so it looked better. There's a little bit of a hole there, but I can't get in there with the grinder, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Nobody's going to see it anyway. So this is had its final coat of primer, and it will be into black paint soon, once these are all primed up. So you can see I've got that one edge to do, a little bit more in the inside. I've got to do the inside of that, and then it's starting to paint. But I'm just trying to warm this room up, because it's, or the paint room up, because it's about 3 degrees and it's very chilly. But yeah, I think I'm going to regarding the car, we've got these wires here, and some of the labels have come off, so I'm just going to wrap the labels in clear sellotape and then cut all those so I can reconfigure. I'm going to attempt to take this out in the next episode, and I'll show you how to do this as well once this is out. Apparently you have to take the scuttle panel off, and there's 2 bolts apparently, or in the engine bay. You can break it, and that's where the hidden bolts are. So if you are having trouble, I'll show you where they are once I figure out where they are myself. As I've done a little bit more fun and something for me, it's back onto the car and back doing this. But I'm going to do a couple of days in a row, because I'm off work because of Christmas, and try and get some of this banged out as soon as possible, really, to try and get some headway into it, and get the seam sealer out and stuff like that. But the first port of call is this, but this will be in the next episode. which I'm going to film today. Today we've had a fairly relaxed day. It was a bit more a catch up of what's to come on the car, and I'll explain a little bit about what my plans are next time, to try and because things have changed, decisions have been made, and stages have been sort of not finalised, but I want to sort of tell you guys what's going to go on and what I'm sort of planning with the car, etc. And I'll tell you that next time. But for the moment, if you can, spare £2.50 a month on our Patreon page, which links in description. Like our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, as we put updates of the car or what we're doing or what have you, and a lot of exciting things to come in the new year. Please subscribe and come back to follow the progress of the car. I'm going to try and document it as much as possible, because there's not a lot out there on the rally side of things, and prepping your car for the first time is quite a big deal. And if you can do it yourself, you're going to save a lot of money. But yeah, like and subscribe and come back for more. Thank you.